Hello and welcome everyone to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. It is past 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and here we are with Daily Immigration Dose. I'm really happy that you have joined us. Well, we are streaming live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and also on X. And before we head on with today's discussion, I have this very important disclaimer, and that is by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. And our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. Folks out there, I'm Nipasa Pradhan, your host, and I'm very happy to be joined by my co host, Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Napasa. It's so good to have you. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, we had Christmas yesterday, so you can only imagine all the family time, feasting, and I think it was still on today as well. So I'm looking forward to finish work soon and go join my family again. What about you?
I think, yeah, yesterday also, we enjoyed Christmas. We decorated trees, we had cakes. So it was a very great time with family. And I know our viewers also had a very great time yesterday with their families and friends. So
Yes.
I think that's
It is the
great.
holiday season and it won't end till after New Year, so I'm very excited.
Absolutely. But I think it's also important, to keep yourself updated regarding what's happening around the world, especially related to immigration. So I think it's what can be best than this, that instead also, in celebrating Christmas, we are also letting our people know about the
Yes.
news, the incidents, that's tragic incidents that's
Very
happening.
important. Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I think let's begin without any further ado. Let's start and jump right into our today's session.
Sure, Sam. All right, so this time let me start with a few news updates and maybe you can go on after that. So this first one, Irish government spends over 8.1 million euros, supporting immigrants in the US since 2021. So yes, the Irish government has invested more than 8.1 million in supporting Irish immigrants in the United States through its immigrant support program since 2021. And this funding, has been directed towards long established immigration centers in major cities such as New York, Boston, Seattle, San Diego, and even San Francisco. These centers, which are charitable organizations, they provide crucial immigration advice and services to Irish citizens, including assistance with regularizing their immigration status. And in 2021, the program allocated 1.94 million euros, followed by 2.1 million euros in 2022 and 2 million euros in 2023 and another 2 million by December 10th, 2024 in euros. So yes, the receipt of this funding include notable centers like the Irish Pastoral Center in Boston, the Emerald Isle Immigrant Center in New York, and the Irish Immigration and Pastoral Center in San Francisco, among others. So, despite concerns about the continuation of immigration supports under the incoming Trump administration, the Department of Foreign Affairs has also emphasized that securing legal pathways for Irish people to live and work in the US remains a key priority. So, efforts to expand the E3 visa program, to include Ireland have faced challenges, with recent bipartisan legislation set to fail as the new Congress convenes, in January coming. So, since its inception 20 years ago, the Immigrant Support Program has distributed over 250 million euros to more than 900 organizations across 51 countries, demonstrating the Irish government's ongoing commitment to support its diaspora worldwide. And yes, coming to another news update. This is Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy clash over US talent shortage amid immigration debate. I'm sure folks out there must have seen this because it's making huge news out there. So, in the midst of controversy, surrounding Indian American entrepreneur Sri Ram Krishnan's views on immigration and high skilled worker visas, a heated exchange has unfolded between Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy regarding the US talent shortage. And Musk recently highlighted the critical, scarcity of skilled engineering talent in the Silicon Valley, stating it comes down to this: do you want America to win or do you want America to lose? If you force the world's best talent to play for the other side, America will lose. End of story. That is what he stated. And Ramaswamy, an entrepreneur and political figure, quickly responded with a pointed comment, saying America first means we want America to win. Playing for second place doesn't cut it. And this exchange underscores the ongoing debate over immigration policy and the necessity of attracting top tier talent to maintain America's global competitiveness. So, yes, Musk also emphasized the urgent need for skilled engineers, particularly in the fields of artificial intelligence and semiconductors. He noted that the US semiconductor industry alone will require over 160,000 engineers by 2032 due to $250 billion in new investments. And the demand for AI experts has also surged, with Musk describing the talent shortage as the craziest ever. So the debate highlights the broader implications of immigration policies on the US's ability, to compete globally in high-tech industries. And yes, these are two updates from my end. Sam, you can go ahead with yours.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Napasa, for letting us know about these two major incidents and major updates. Folks, I also have some major news updates that I would like to let it know. That is, USCIS has just announced that they are going to publish a revised edition of Form I-129. And that is also known as the Petition for a Non-Immigrant Worker on January 17, 2025. So this is a big news for anyone who is applying for visas like the H1B or H2. So the question here is that why it's changing. So the form that has been updated to align with the H1B modernization and H2 modernization final rules that were recently announced. These rules bring changes to the application process, and the new form I-129 is going to make sure that everything is going to line with those updates that has recently been announced. So now here's what you need to keep in mind, that the new version of the form that has replaced the old one on April 1, 2024, and there's no grace period. That is starting January 17, 2025, USCIS will reject any petitions if you're going to use the old form. So if you're planning to file, then make sure to use the right form. Moving ahead with another news, that is the Enforcement Directorate or ED of India is investigating a shocking case where Indian citizens were illegally trafficked into the US using Canadian colleges as part of the plan. So, this is something, a very tragic incident that also took place. And this investigation follows a tragic incident in 2022 where a family from Gujarat, India, lost their lives while trying to cross the Canada US border in freezing condition. In fact, the ED has also started an investigation against certain individuals, companies, and over 260 colleges in Canada. So these people were promised admission to Canadian colleges but were instead sent to the US through illegal routes. And each person paid a huge sum of money, around rupees 55 lakh and 60 lakh rupees, to be a part of the scheme. So the investigation revealed that many Indian citizens were lured into paying for student visas so that they can just get admission in Canada. But unfortunately, nothing happened like that. Once they reached Canada, instead of attending the colleges, they were smuggled into the United States illegally. So, this was the major news that I would like to share with our viewers. And yeah, I think that's all from my side. And now I think after sharing the news update, let's directly jump into our today's topic. So, Nepasa, why don't you give a quick brief or a quick intro of today's topic that we are going to discuss on?
Absolutely, Sam. Today's topic of discussion is from the subway to the streets, stories of illegal immigrants and public safety concerns. Of course, there are so many stories if we look back to 2024. But coming back to the most recent one, recently we've really seen this very tragic incident, and it was a shocking one, in the New York subway, where a woman was set on fire by an individual. who was later identified as an illegal immigrant with a criminal history. And this incident has not only raised questions about the public safety on our transportation systems, but also brought to light the broader issues surrounding illegal immigration and its impact on our communities. So, of course, today we are going to dive deeper into the different complexities, of these issues, exploring the stories of illegal immigrants, the challenges they face, and of course, the concerns they pose to the public safety as well. So, yes, I think we should start off with the story, what really happened. And if you look at the overview of the incident, it happened on December 22nd, 2024. It was really horrifying. I'm sure it was very shocking, scaring a lot of people. Of course, with Christmas, everybody got busy, but this is something that cannot be ignored. So, this it occurred in a stationary subway train at the convoy at the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue station in Brooklyn, and this was in New York. And approximately, it was about 7:30 in the morning, local time. So a woman was set on fire by a man who approached her while she was seemingly asleep. So the suspect, identified as Sebastian Zapeta, used a lighter to ignite the woman's clothing, causing her to be engulfed in flames within seconds. And this incident has been described by NYC Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch as one of the most deep paved crimes one person could possibly commit against another human being. And the victim's identity remains unknown, adding to the tragedy and complexity of the case. And the victim and suspect information, like I said, it's still unknown, and it's a very distressful situation. So she was described as possibly homeless, highlighting the vulnerability of individuals living on the streets. So the suspect, Sebastian Zapeta, is a Guatemalan citizen, and he had previously been deported from US in 2018. He was arrested and charged with first degree murder, second degree murder, and first degree arson. So Zapeta's action have shocked the community and raised questions about the safety of public transportation also, and the effectiveness of immigration enforcement. Um, do you want to say anything on the incident that had occurred? It's very disturbing, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, you have given a gist about the incident, and but like that's okay. We understood that it all happened, and who was behind it and everything. But according to me, we should also look upon it that what about the other people, the people those who were standing, the people those who were watching this incident? I mean, what about them? Because it was 7:30 a.m., right? And it was especially on 22nd December, and that too one of the most highly crowded city, New York City, so it is a place that wasn't very much quiet, or it wasn't like that people weren't there. There were people, in fact there were police officers as well. And when you will watch the video, you're going to see that even the police officers, they were just waiting for the time to get confirmation, to get the assurance that whether the fire that they are going to see, or whether the smoke that is coming out from the place, is it real or not. So it was like, they all were, nobody stepped in, nobody took the initiative, nobody took the action against it. And even the people, some of the people, they were taking out their phone and recording the video. Some of the people, they were just standing over there waiting something major will happen, then they are going to step in. And even the police officers, they didn't take any initiative. And this is the thing, that surprises everyone. Because if we are going to talk about the illegal immigrants, then we should also talk about the responsibility that as a society people, as a citizens, as a society member, what you are going to show in front of the other people. Because the lady, who was get burned, she was the one who was actually from New York. So why no one had helped her? Why she was helpless over there? Instead, there were so many people out there. So I think it should be something, that we should also talk about it, and we should also give importance to it. That what about the other people who were not paying attention to them, and they were just trying to record the videos, and it's something that it shows that you're not a responsible citizen. So I think, yeah, this is something also very major thing to understand. And even as we are talking about the incident, there's also footage of another officers who were, where you can see that they were walking past the burning women, and they were, I don't know how, but it showed in the video that they were a little confused, or they were unsure of how to respond. So it took hours, before the Zapata, the main suspect, was subdued and arrested. And hours during which a woman's life was lost in the most horrific or the most terrific incident that ever happened in front of everyone. So this was something that is actually very shocking. This is something that is actually very terrific. And I think it's not only the mistake, because see, the one who is the culprit, we are definitely going to punish them, and he'll get the punishment. He has to pay what he did. But what about the other people who were just standing over there and just waiting for something is going to happen, then they're going to step in. So that should also be mentioned. What do you say, Nabasa?
Absolutely, very, very terrifying and horrific. I think we have not been able to forget that image that came into our. I mean, yes, you're right. I'm sure it was not empty. And what happened? Why was there no help? And if you talk about it, I think there's so much to think about. What was happening, and why was there no help? Or what was happening? So probably Um, the it was something which was rapid. Maybe the attack happened very quickly. The suspect used a lighter to set the woman's clothing on fire, and flames just engulfed her within seconds. The rapid escalation made it probably difficult for bystanders to react in time. And um, of
Mm-hmm.
course, in crowded places, the bystander effect can occur. So, where individuals assume everyone else will intervene. And this can actually lead to delays in response, even in emergencies. And of course, it's something that nobody sees. It's a very, very rare situation. So, I'm sure there was a lot of fear, a lot of confusion. What would you do if you see a person set on fire? Wouldn't you be scared? Right?
Yeah, that's okay. Obviously it's very obvious
I'm
that
not saying, I'm
everyone.
not supporting that there was no help. Of course, I'm just trying to imagine what must have happened that people couldn't help her on time. So, of course, witnessing such a violent act can really cause fear and confusion among people, right? So,
Mhm.
must have been very challenging to respond effectively. And you said you were talking about the police as well. So, yes, we wonder what happened, what happened that they couldn't help out. The NYPD and the MTA, they have implemented measures to enhance safety on subways as well. So what happened really, we don't know so much, but including increasing the number of officers on platforms and trains. Yes, I mean 1,200 additional overtime officer shifts each day. So there should be more emergency preparedness, I think. And after this incident, I'm sure people are going to be more vigilant, or they're going to be trained, or at least learn what to do in a situation like this. The
Mhm.
MTA has protocols, of course, in place for emergencies as well, including the use of help points in stations and two-way intercoms on trains to alert staff and emergency responders. So
Mhm.
in this incident, officers also, who were on patrol, noticed that the smoke, and responded quickly. But unfortunately, it was late, to save the victim. It's not
Mhm.
like they did not react at all. It was kind of late because it happened so fast, right? And like I said, the public awareness and training, people should, I mean, put this in their learning as well. What should they do in a situation like this? How can they help so that the victim is not lost? It's such a big loss, right? To lose a life.
Right. And that
So
too in such a horrific way. But
yeah.
I think, yeah, Nipasa, you mentioned this point, and I think if we talk about, how the people were reacting, because I want to also shed light on this about the bystanders effect. So, what happened at that time that nobody intervened? So, according to me, what I also think that there's been a lot of speculation, that bystanders might have been hesitant to act, as you already mentioned, because of fear of legal consequences as well. And I think few years back also, I think maybe last year, somewhere on the other, there was some case, of Daniel Penny, and she also tried to help some on the other in subway only, in that New York place only. And she got arrested, and she was about to go to jail for up to 4 years. And it was something, some kind of allegations had been put on her, that if she found guilty of criminally, negligent homicide, or up to 15 years if she convicted of manslaughter. So there was some kind that she was innocent, but still she tried to initiate, she tried to help somebody, that there was some incident that took place in subway only, and she tried to help, but she unknowingly got involved in these legal consequences, and it was a bit disturbing moment for her. So, there was something on the other that also happens with the US people related to legal consequences also. Because I'm not very much sure about the laws of the US, but I think there is something on the other that's not very much favorable to those people if they help the victims. They may fall into some on the other. They might have to get involved in some of the legal consequences, or some of the other official work, official legal work, that they don't want to intervene. But that can also be the reason that why people don't try to, or don't doesn't take initiative to help the victims, especially at these during these time. Because it's very obvious that nobody wants themselves to have any problem, especially related to police or courts, because it's very hard and it's very time taken, and still it's not sure that whether you'll be able to be free at what time. So it's like, these can be also the reason that why the bystanders, or why the people who were just standing over there, they didn't take any action because of these incidents as well. And also, as you were saying about everything about the incident, I would also like to say that now, because of this incident, most of the people, they are against Biden's administration even more, because now they all are putting they are keeping this thing responsible to Biden's administration, because they are thinking that the immigration system is completely disrupted. Because the man, the suspect, it was said that in 2018 he was deported from US, and back now this year he returned to US illegally. So it is something that some way on the other, the immigration system has a big problem. Nobody is taking care of the immigration system, and that's why these incidents are also taking place. So people are very much, they are frustrated, they are irritated, and now they want something on the other, big action, a big stronger protector, for their nation, because they are putting Biden's administration responsible for this incident too. So I think this can also be the reason. But Nipasa, I want to ask from you that who do you think that is responsible, or why did this happen? Because
See, I mean, this person is already a criminal, which shows that this person is, in not a correct mental state. We do not know what has triggered him, not just once, twice, thrice. This has been, I don't know which number crime. And it really shows that this person needs help big time, because he's not mentally stable.
Mhm.
And of course, I don't know who else are there in his family, or who else does he talk to, or has he been doing this all alone ever since. This is a serious situation, and I'm sure he came into this country back again to take this revenge for whatever reason he was deported. Of course, like, he is a criminal, but what made him do that? Because a normal person wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah,
Not
right.
just once, twice. I mean, look at his previous history, 2018, then again after that, and then this time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from Guatemala, right?
Yeah.
So I am sure he really needs help. I mean, mentally, he's not stable, and he should not be roaming freely in any country.
But the thing is that, if he committed crimes, and that too twice and thrice, then why is he roaming this freely? He should be in
Exactly,
jail
that's what I'm
already.
saying. He shouldn't be on this anywhere roaming freely. He should be
Right.
behind the bars, I don't know,
Or
getting
either he
treated
should
for
be
maybe mental
deported.
issues.
something on the other, the action must have taken. In fact, in 2018, the action took. But still, he returned to the US, and people, people themselves, the police officers, if you'll hear their statements, they are going to say that they don't know, or even the government people, they are also saying that they don't know how these illegal this man, this Sebastian man came to US, and how did he cross the border? So they themselves are confused about it. So, people are thinking that if the government are only confused about these things, if they are not able to take the responsibility, then who is going to take the responsibility? Because something on the other, it wasn't that he committed crime for the very first time. It was his twice or thrice record, right? And
Exactly. And who knows what else he does? These are just on record.
right,
Um,
right. That's
who
what.
knows
These
what
are
else
the
has he done?
records. Yeah, these are just being recorded. Other than that, maybe he might have done something more heinous or something more dangerous that might not be caught. But I think, it's everything. People are saying that this is responsible, that is responsible. I think overall, if something bad happens, something on the other, everyone is responsible against that particular incident. So, yeah, I think this is what I wanted to mention. And also, if we
Yes.
talk about, yeah,
Yes, I mean, everyone is to be blamed. I mean, how can this happen? I mean, in daylight, you can say it's daylight, right? 7:30 in the morning is kind of busy where people are
mhm,
already on the streets. And how could this happen? And first of all, how did he even come to the country again, right? Of course,
absolutely.
illegally. He has been a criminal ever
Mhm,
since on record since 2018. And how could he come? Obviously, he did not enter legally because he wouldn't be allowed to. So how
mhm,
did he enter? I mean, it's a huge case, and I think there has to be some serious digging to be done from all the sectors of the government. How did this
mhm.
happen? How was he even in the country?
Absolutely. And also, Nepalsa, there is that the NYPD that was there at the time of that incident. The NYPD has, already been heavily criticized for their lack of response. And former NYPD commissioner, Bernard Kerrick, didn't hold back in his statement. And he called out that officers, he said this thing to everyone that the officers were watching like cowards, and many in the public feed they feel the same way. So people are asking that why didn't the police act, and people are also very much confused about these things. And even the NYPD has offered some kind of explanation, and the chief of transit Joe Gulota also stated that officers were looking for a fire extinguisher at that time when the tragedy took place. But I think that's not enough, for an excuse, because it's not possible that you are just looking for a fire extinguisher and you can say that
I mean,
abruptly. You
talk
have
about NYPD. It's one of the largest cities in the whole wide world. It's the most watched. There are so many cameras everywhere. How could this be? I mean, this person, if he's in the records, his face should have been detected, when you enter into the subway as well. So I don't know who to blame. There's so much, I mean, so much to dig out and what really
Mhm.
happened. You can't just say it happened so rapidly because this person came from somewhere, right?
Right.
It's and I mean New York City is not near the border, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And this didn't happen like somewhere this person just crossed and he had just put the lighter, put the light, on this woman. This person
Hmm.
has been roaming freely, came into the subway. How did all this happen? I don't know.
Absolutely. I think every incident, if these types of incidents are happening, it's some or the other connecting to each one of the people, those who were present there and those who are actually working on the immigration system. So I think it's a very high
That
time.
too, immigration system and just the security in the subway, right? They have cameras, they're watching every time. Um,
They're watching,
how
in fact, they have gone. So
exactly like
it's like
that's what I
there's,
don't
yeah, of course. It's very, hard to accept this thing that because the police officers, what are they for? They're obviously for us. They're obviously to maintain the security, to maintain the light. And but the thing is that if people only themselves are not feeling safe around the police officers, because if the police officers themselves are saying that they were finding out the fire extinguisher, so it's something that they are just making a kind of excuse for just to get escape from that uh, questions of everyone. So this is actually not acceptable, and it's something very difficult to and hard to accept. So I think, yeah, this is something that very important to talk about. And moving ahead, I would also like to mention some other thing, like beyond, if we talk beyond illegal immigration, then there's also a larger issue here, and that is growing disconnect in our communities. So if we talk normally, like as humans, we should feel a more obligation to help each other in moments of crisis, and yet in this situation that nobody acted. So we talked about it, like was it fear, was it apathy, or was it something else? And why we are so quick, why people are so quick to pull out their phones and to record and to make videos to post it on their Twitter, Instagram, or the social media platform, and they're not even hesitant to put those real footages on Instagram or on social media, but they are so hesitant to help that lady, or to help that person who was actually suffering from a lot of danger, or actually that lady got died. So it is a very crucial point, that we have seen this over and over again, and where people are more willing to film a horrific incident even than to stop it then and there, right there. So there's a lack of responsibility, whether it's by standards on the subway, or the police, or even the culprit, or even the elected officials who make the policies that lead to these situations. So there are so many things, and I think everything is connected. And moving ahead, on Napas, I would also like to talk about some different incident that took place in US. And with these incidents, we can understand that it's not only about this incident, because this is a very tragic one. So that's why it's on everyone's notification right now. But there are other incidents as well that took place, and I think because of these incidents, it's just keep on increasing and increasing, and that's why people are becoming so much anti-immigrant. So, it's the incident that took place on March 19, 2024, where the officers, Chelsea and Rose Cannon with the Hoboken Police Department, responded to a report of a shoplifting involving two female that had occurred a shop right at 900 Madison Street. So what happened that there were two girls, Bhavya and Yamini, and Bhavya was 20-year-old and Yamini was 21-year-old. So this was like the loss prevention officer showed that the officer surveillance footage, okay, of the two alleged suspect, they were trying to leave that place, that shop, without paying for 27 items that they bought at that time, and the total price was around $155 somewhere, okay. And after this, they have to they bought everything, and when they were about to pay, they were saying, they were giving excuses that after some time we are going to pay you back, or after some time they were just trying to manipulate the shopkeeper. So these were the incidents, and after that, these were the situations that happened or that took place. And something on the other, people are saying that these illegal immigrants are actually doing shoplifting kind of thing, or doing some illegal things. So this is one of the major incident that also took place, and I wanted to, yeah, share this as an example, because of this also, people are becoming little anti-immigrant. So yeah, I think this was from my end. And Nipasa, would you like to add on these information?
Yes, absolutely, Sam. I remember that one because we had covered that on immigration and jobs talks as well. And yes, when looking back, there were so many other incidences as well. And I think I can also talk about a few, but if you remember this one, the shocking trafficking scheme, the enforcement directorate, they had uncovered a massive human trafficking, sorry, network involving 262 Canadian colleges. And
Mhm.
the investigation was triggered by the tragic death of a four-member Indian family, who died while attempting to illegally cross the Canada-US border in January 2022.
Mhm.
So, yes, of course, there are human trafficking operation works, and agents, they lure Indian students with promises of studying, and a lot has happened. And when you talk about cases like these, there was also another incident where you know folks out there were promised that they can have a job. Indian, I think, I can't remember exactly, but I can try to dig out that news as well. So they were brought in, they were promised that they would be given jobs, but there were no real jobs,
Yeah,
and it was a bad scene out there.
absolutely. And I think because of this, human trafficking case also that you shed light on this, I think in this also what happened that the people those who were actually especially it took place on India only, that in India there was some kind of I would say illegal activity that was happening, and there was a man
I think I should try to find out the exact info, and I'll come back to that news for sure. But yes, there has been a lot of illegal activities going on, fraudulent activities, and I
yeah,
think it could be, it should open eyes for folks out there, to start being more vigilant, to do their researches properly, and if something feels fishy, suspicious,
yeah,
dig out more so that you know what is the truth, and before you take huge steps, I would just say that. And
absolutely.
also, folks, you can also join us in this conversation by dialing this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. And once you're in, you just say hello, we will be able to hear you. And I think we should also read out some of the comments, Sam, and then
Sure.
maybe jump back to our discussion today. Imran Khan says, as someone who's following the news closely, I keep hearing about the growing tensions between illegal immigration and public safety. From a legal perspective, how does the law balance the rights of undocumented immigrants with concerns about public safety? Very good question, Imran Khan, and thank you for your question. We are sure going to come up with more details on this, but all these things happening. Whoever this person could be doing such horrifying things to people who are, living there in the streets or walking on the streets. I don't think anyone can feel safe around a person as such,
Right.
so yes, that is one thing for sure, and public safety should be the main concern. America first, of course, and with America first, I mean, with everybody in America, I think they should also feel safe. So I'm
Absolutely.
sure right after this, um, security is going to be tighter. People, I hope, the NYPD, NTA, and all the other departments who are, in charge of security of the city or the country, they become more strict. They see that, incidents like these do not happen, and we really hope and pray that, I mean, first
Yeah.
off, um, may her soul rest in peace. We don't even know who she was. Such a sad thing, you know.
Absolutely. And it's even more sad that it happened on 22nd December. That was too close to Christmas.
Yes.
So it's like very sad thing that happened. And if coming back to Imran comment, I think he mentioned this a very good thing about the undocumented immigrants and about the public safety. So in this comment we can see that Imran is keeping two different things. Firstly, the undocumented immigrants, and secondly, the public safety. So now it's so, I would say, it's so disheartening. It's so difficult to accept this thing that now people are not keeping immigrants and public safety together. They are differentiating these two things. So I think and I think it's very obvious, if something is illegal you can't accept safety around them. And that's what we have seen the similar incident, and even the incident that of shoplifting incident that I already said right now, that was also illegal one. And the human trafficking one that you also mentioned right now, that too was of illegal. So there were three different cases that we talked right now, and those three were of illegal immigrants. So I think now it's very high time to take action and to make sure that there is no illegal immigrants present in the US, because it's very obvious, because they won't be getting good jobs, they won't be getting the respect, or they may get caught. So what are they going to do? Where are they going to stay? they will be getting frustrated, and the legal ones, they will be getting frustrated too. So it's like, the illegal immigrants, even if they think that crossing border they will lead a good life, no, I think they will lead a very difficult and a very terrifying life, I would say, because you still have to hide your identity and there's no way out. I think you just come back to your country and at least live a better life, because it's harming the society. And if you get caught by police, or if you get caught by the government, then I think you have to pay a lot of amount, and you have to pay for this, not just physically but mentally as well. So yeah, I think this is the point that I wanted to make. And yeah, Nabasa, please go ahead with the further comments.
Very great point, Sam. And yeah, moving on, let's take up Cynthia's comments as well. Cynthia saying immigration is once again making headlines. Has it ever stopped? And it's not just the sheer numbers that have people talking. Concerns about mass immigration, both legal and illegal, have dominated political and economic conversations in the US. So true, Cynthia, and thank you so much for highlighting that as well. As they say, America is a land of immigrants, right? I mean, America never existed without immigrants,
Right.
legal or illegal, ever since, I mean, I don't know how long, so many decades, years, I think more than a century, or I don't know how long has it been. So, Cynthia, yes, it has never stopped. And whether it is mass immigration, legal or illegal, has been making a lot of headlines, and very important because they form how to say a huge percentage when you talk about the political environment or the economic environment as well. They are both. I mean, they are contributing to the economy. They are contributing to the politics as well, because they are voting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people have become Americans, though first they were immigrated. I mean, they first immigrated to America, then they tried becoming citizens. They start voting, and of course, they have been, playing a very important role ever since. And I
Mhm.
don't think this will ever stop, Cynthia. This will go on forever, at least, till I don't know, until something really bad happens, where there are no more immigrants, legal or illegal, in
I think,
America.
yeah, I think, but Napasa, if we look at the history of US, then I think obviously you mentioned it that it was all about immigrants. That immigrants came from different countries, and then they existed over there, and then the land called America. So I think without immigrants, I don't think America has been existed and has been growing this well. So without immigrants, we can't expect any growth in America, because it's very important that immigrants should be there. I think only the thing is about illegal immigrants. Majorly the concern is about the illegal ones. So I think if the illegal ones have been removed, then I think
Yes.
America will be back again, and will be great again, as what Trump says. And I think
Yes.
this may happen under Trump's administration only, because Trump, in most of his speeches, we have seen that he is completely against illegal ones, and he's the one who's going to take a hard stance on this, and he's definitely going to, take care of all this people's safety. And I think that's what everyone is understanding. And I hope 2025 will become better, and will have a good year, not only for US but for overall the whole world. So
For
yeah,
sure, for sure, because US is everybody has eyes on the US, and they are looking forward because kind of the whole world is happy that Trump was elected, is elected, and is joining office, in January. So looking forward for great economies across the world. I think yes, so many countries across the world are looking forward for this.
right,
But another thing I want to say is, I mean, legally coming into the country, I'm sorry, illegally entering the country is also a crime. So please stay out of it. If you really are not a, criminal, you want to live a better life in the US, get documented. I mean, come in legally, and I'm sure it's going to be safer for you, because otherwise, things like these, these incidents, where illegal immigrants are causing such chaos, such
Mhm.
horrific incidents. They are causing trouble everywhere. And because of these, certain percentage of people who are causing these kinds of things, the whole community, I mean, all of the people who came in illegally or who are undocumented, they are all getting blamed and kind of, feeling like they feel like, what is going to happen? Are they also going to be deported? And the answer is, of course, yes. I think Trump is going to see that, it's all going to happen one after another. Of course, the criminals first, who are recorded. But what
Absolutely.
about those who are not recorded? So, um, yes, I
I
think a
think
lot is going to happen.
they will also face a hard time under Trump's
For sure, for
administration.
sure, for sure.
Because they will definitely be caught. So I think, yeah, we can expect at least that thing, and that's a very positive thing if we are going to see in 2025. And with that, Napasa, we have covered a lot on this session, and
Yes,
so I just wanted to let you know that let's have a conclusion about this whole session about it. So I think, yeah, friends, before leaving and before saying bye to everyone, here's also a very important thing that I wanted to mention, that it's very important to understand what needs to be changed after this incident, both in terms of how we handle the illegal immigration and how we foster a sense of community responsibility. So I think right now we are all at a crossroad, when it comes to public safety or immigration or community action. But ultimately, it's on us. We are the one who should decide that are we going to continue down this path of inaction and fear or trauma, or are we going to step up and make a difference when it matters the most? So I think, everything comes with us. It's you, it's us, it's me, it's everyone, those who are watching right now or those who are maybe watching, maybe watch this later. So just have this thing decided as soon as possible, because I think change, it's very important to change. First you have to change, then you have to accept your immigration system should be changed, or the victims will be changed, or the suspect should be changed, or whosoever, the other person. I think you should first take up this initiative to change yourself, and then I think everything is going to be a better one. So I think this is very important for all of us to take a step right now, because it's high time. And if not now, then I don't think it's if not now, then when, right? So it's like that. So yeah, I think with this, friends, we have talked a very good amount of topics. We have touched a good amount of topics in today's session. We have talked about the different incidents that took place. We also talked about today's incident that has to be mentioned, and who is responsible behind it. What will be the future under Trump's administration? Everything we have touched a lot upon it, and I think with this, we also concluded. So, Nipasa, anything that you would like to share with our viewers by concluding all these incidents, or any last minute? Yeah.
yes, I think I can just come back to Imran's,
Mhm.
comment, and
Sure.
talking about just New York alone. There are thought to be over 500,000 undocumented immigrants residing in New York City. So they come in many parts across the world. Especially from Latin America, Asia, Eastern Europe, and even the Caribbean. So
Mhm.
about 70% of them have paid jobs, catering, construction, retail, driving, cleaning, and many other trades. At least at catering, their wages tend to be lower than those of comparable workers. So this is also the other side of the coin, another thing to be thought about, and what is going to happen, or how can they be safe? They are the dreamers, right? They're called dreamers. So I really hope that of course, apart from living their dream, they also come to reality and see how can they get documented or stay legally in the country. And I do hope that once they are that, they can also be paid better, because they deserve a lot. I mean, they have been, doing these jobs without which probably America wouldn't be what it is right now, right? So
Absolutely.
there's a lot to talk about. When we talk about it, I think the discussion will keep going on and on. And thank you so much, Imran Khan and Cynthia, for your comments, for participating with us here in the show. was great. And yes, there's so much more to talk about. So we'll definitely come back tomorrow with Daily Immigration Dose, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. It was great having you. I really hope that, you are on in this holiday mood. Of course, looking at the brighter side, trying to wrap up 2024 in a better way and step into 2025 and even in a better way. So let's look forward and let's do good, be good. I think that's all I can say for now.
Absolutely. I think that's a very good message, Nipasa. And also, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today in this very important conversation. And, let's keep discussing, let's keep questioning, and most importantly, keep pushing for a safer and more compassionate society. And let's not lose hope. So, yeah, with that, keep yourself updated by also liking, sharing, and subscribing to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Me and Napasa will come daily on Daily Immigration Doors at 4 p.m. EST from Monday to Friday to let you guys know what's happening around the world and to also make you aware about the incidents, about the news, about the latest updates that's happening. So thank you so much, everyone. Meanwhile, me and Napasa are signing off for now.
Bye bye, everyone.